business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com, delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Yeah, Council.
We all know the importance of good health, but we may not know the latest advances in medicine that are available to us. Monday at 9:05 a.m., Bern Perez will be our roving medical reporter to tell us about Seven Hills Gastroenterology PA and Dr. Reddy. We will discuss screening techniques and more, so tune in and listen. This is more than news you can use. It's news that could save your life. That's Monday at 9:05 a.m. right here on The Source, WOCA. Here are today's headlines from The Source, WOCA. The doors at Evergreen Elementary School will stay open. Yesterday, the Marion County School Board voted 4-1 in favor of bringing in outside educational assistance to help run the school. During the meeting, the board heard from concerned parents, the NAACP, and those who wanted Evergreen Elementary School to close. The new school assistance group will be selected before June. The board says the school has to be efficient in bringing up its grades. An 81-year-old man has been arrested in connection to a hit-and-run crash that killed a pedestrian early yesterday. Frederick William Weld is being booked into the Marion County Jail. Troopers say the hit-and-run happened at about 12:30 a.m. on State Road 200 at Southwest 88th Terrace. They say a 2014 white Nissan Frontier pickup truck hit 31-year-old Trilvell Middleton and drove off at about 7:35 a.m. A passerby saw Middleton on the road and thought he was sick or injured. Troopers found the pickup truck in the Walmart parking lot on State Road 200 and say video surveillance shows a man getting into another vehicle and leaving. Hillsborough County's top prosecutor has made his decision on whether to seek the death penalty against the Seminole Heights murder suspect.
Describing it as the most serious and sobering of decisions, Hillsborough State Attorney Andrew Warren has announced his course of action in the Seminole Heights murders case.
This office will seek the sentence of death against Howell Donaldson III.
Warren treads lightly when faced with the potential of the death penalty. He supported the decision to require a unanimous jury recommendation of death. But Warren calls the Seminole Heights killings cold, calculated, and premeditated, and believes capital punishment is justified in this case. I'm Sharon Parker.
A budget subcommittee in the Florida Senate has passed a tougher ban on texting while driving. 2 senators voted against the bill because they fear it will lead to more police profiling of black drivers. And Senator Kevin Rader is worried it's not tough enough because there are loopholes.
What about when you're at a stoplight?
You may text while you're at a stoplight.
You can text and drive at a stoplight.
Yeah, I might blow my horn at you when you don't take off, but yes, you can.
The texting while driving bill has now cleared 4 different committees in the Florida legislature, and there are still 3 more to go. Some state lawmakers in Tallahassee want to put more emphasis on early education. Representative Lorraine Ausley, a Democrat from Tallahassee, says her early childhood education bill, which is House Bill 1135, will ease the transition from preschool to kindergarten by requiring the lowest performing elementary schools in the state to set up early learning transition teams.
We're taking the first step here by focusing on the schools and kids that need it the most, the 300 low performing schools. This kind of early intervention can absolutely make the difference for these kids, and it is the key to turning these schools around.
Ausley says 25% of the children entering kindergarten in Florida today don't have the basic skills to succeed. Every Florida school and school administrative building will have to prominently display the words "In God We Trust" under a bill moving through the legislature. Democratic Representative Kimberly Daniels said her bill will be a lesson to children about the national and state motto that is printed on currency and included in the state flag. The bill received unanimous approval yesterday from the House Pre-K through 12 Innovation Subcommittee. Democrats and Republicans praised the idea. Republican Representative Ralph Masulo said students should know about the state's history, and as part of that history, in God we trust as the state motto. Democratic Representative Larry Lee said the nation was built on God and the bill is a good idea. 2 minors in Florida have been charged with cyberstalking in connection to a 12-year-old girl's apparent suicide. The arrests of 2 Surfside Middle School students, both 12 years old, follow the January 10th death of Gabriella Green, who reportedly hanged herself, Panama City Beach officials said in a news release on Monday. During their investigation into Green's death, authorities say they identified 2 minors whose names were not released after being notified of potential cyberbullying after checking social media accounts and examining cell phones. Investigators say they interviewed the 2 suspects with parental permission. Both minors reportedly admitted to cyberbullying behavior and told police they knew that the conduct would result in emotional distress. During the interviews, one suspect reportedly told an investigator that she had started rumors about Green, saying that the deceased had sexually transmitted diseases. The behavior also reportedly included vulgar name-calling and threats to expose personal and sensitive details about the victim's life. A bill introduced in Florida would require public school legislature to make it mandatory for public school students to get vaccinated for human papillomavirus, also known as HPV. According to the CDC, the vaccine is given in a series of 2 shots and is recommended for boys and girls ages 11 and 12 to prevent against the infection that can cause a range of cancers, including cervical, anal, throat and neck, and vaginal cancers. State Senator Jose Javier Rodriguez, a Democrat from Miami, filed the bill on January 4th. A similar push for the bill failed in 2011. HPV vaccination rates increased in Florida over the past decade, according to the CDC. The state also has one of the highest rates for cervical cancer. If passed, the bill would be called the Women's Cancer Prevention Act and take effect on July 1st. Rhode Island, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. have similar mandates for the HPV vaccine, according to the National Conference of State Legislatures. And those are the headlines from The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Jean Powell, Paschamoy. Jean and Debbie would like to thank you for another successful year of business. We want to wish everybody a safe, healthy, and prosperous 2018. In addition to our pasture mowing service, we also offer fence row spraying and stump grinding. Now is the perfect time to go ahead on weed control and to take care of those troublesome stumps. We are locally owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm ready. Powell Jean, Gene at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Jean Powell, pasture mowing, 352-629-2440. Jean is a proud United States veteran.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Marion, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Marion, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
All right, 10 minutes after 11 o'clock. How you doing out there? Doing good? I know you were hoping to hear us talking to some circus performers, but they're not in here.
No.
They're not here, Robin.
No,
they're
they didn't
not
come
here.
today.
It is a pet peeve of mine. Now, I'm sure they're wonderful people. I'm sure there was miscommunication. They do speak Italian after all. Maybe they'll be here later on. Maybe they'll bring a pizza and I'll feel better. But I have a pet peeve with this. You know, is when you schedule time to be on a radio show, you should be on the radio. You should, I mean, once in a while there's a good excuse, and maybe there is in this case. I mean, maybe they were swinging on the trapeze and it broke.
Yeah.
And maybe they had to go to the hospital because the trapeze broke or something.
Yeah. Or they're setting up for tomorrow's show. Yeah, the first show.
So I thought, well, what can I talk about? I'll talk about pet peeves because I just told you mine. I have the top pet peeves. Are you ready for the top pet peeves?
Okay, I am.
People who chew with their mouth open is a pet peeve.
Yeah.
It's not really. I don't really care, but some people say that's a pet peeve.
It's gross. It's disgusting. I hate that.
When people are late or make me run late because I'm waiting for them, that's a pet peeve.
Yeah.
I didn't make that up. That's on the list.
Exactly.
Next one is people who scuff their feet as they walk down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a pet peeve? Do you hate that?
Yeah, I do.
Scuff their feet, really?
I do, yeah. Yeah.
People smoking electronic cigarettes around non-smokers.
Yeah, because they look like, to use Joe Martone's words, a train. Because that's what they're doing. They build up all this smoke and it just.
I said it looked like a locomotive.
Yeah, you did too. You said it looked like a locomotive. You and Joe Martone.
People who chew gum loudly and attempt to blow bubbles in confined quarters.
Oh, that's because they're acting like a tough guy.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, when you're chewing gum, because I can get some gum and start chewing it, it's like I got a whole different personality. It's like, okay, I'm a tough guy.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. You pointed that out to me one day. You said you look like a tough guy.
Here's a yeah, well, you do. Yeah, you do. Here's another pet peeve. You can't relate to this unless you take public transportation. People who walk into the subway and stand right by the door. Yeah, it's kind of hard to relate to. People who don't.
I understand it though because we were there.
People who don't cover their mouths when they cough.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's a problem.
There's a lot of that going on right now. People who discuss being on a diet while you're in the middle of eating something unhealthy.
Oh, don't you hate that? Gosh, I absolutely hate that. That is like, oh my gosh, it's like you're, condescending toward me because I'm enjoying my Hershey bar and you're eating an apple.
How about this? People who say, ooh, to the food on your plate.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, you're eating that?
Yeah, I am. So you go ahead and eat whatever it is you're eating. I won't pick on you. I hate people when they don't pay attention to their own plates and they pay attention to everybody else's. Don't you?
People who eat food off of your plate without asking first.
Oh.
Can I have one of those French fries?
Yeah. No, they don't even ask that. They say, ooh. Well, go ahead. Take the whole thing now. You touched it. I'm not.
Don't you hate when somebody says, are you going to finish that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm holding it.
Yeah.
You're eating a Subway, right? A Subway sandwich?
Right.
And you're halfway through your sandwich, and you're still holding the other half. Are you going to finish that?
Right, exactly.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm just not scarfing it down. I'm savoring.
Why, do you want it?
Yeah.
When people ask if they can have... Oh, yeah, that's another food one. Let me see.
Oh.
People who say no offense as if it downplays anything insulting they say.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no offense, but I am offended by...
Yeah, exactly.
People who say literally when they mean it, well, what they mean is not literal. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. The one I remember recently, I literally live in a hole in the wall. You literally live in a hole in the wall. Now, where is the hole? Where is this wall?
Yeah, right.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry. I would like to get my 2 cents worth in. I have a lot of pet peeves, but one of the worst ones is going to a restaurant and you're sitting there eating and someone else finishes eating and they start blowing their nose.
Oh, disgusting. I know.
That makes me sick. If I had a restaurant, I would put somewhere on there, please, no nose blowing at the table.
Yeah. Or like you said, get up and go to the restroom and then blow your nose in there.
Exactly. And it happens every time you go to eat. So tell everybody, please don't blow your nose in a restaurant at the table.
Okay, no nose blowing. That's funny. That's a good one. I like that one. No nose blowing.
Yeah, I do too. I like that one. That's true.
I can't stand it when I have no choice. Well, and I went through a cold last week, and I'm not doing it right now, thank goodness. But when I'm sitting here, and I have no choice. I have to blow my nose while I'm sitting at the microphone, so I turn off the microphone.
Yeah, you do. You're
so
courteous.
nobody can hear it. But all right, let's see.
Or a vacuum cleaner in a restaurant when I'm eating and they got those handheld vacuum cleaners.
I
hate
cannot
that.
stand vacuum cleaners in restaurants.
Yeah, me neither.
What is it? How is it possible that you can't vacuum later on?
Exactly, when you're closed.
What about this? You go into a restaurant that's empty, right?
Yes.
And you sit in a booth.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dozen other booths or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the person who comes in next sits on the other side of the booth from you. Not at the same table, but I mean with your back to back.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that awful?
Oh, my gosh. You couldn't have picked another booth.
I know.
I can understand.
It's all empty. But you got to sit next to me. They probably think you're cute.
Yeah, right. People who woo when their favorite song comes on. Woo-hoo! Here's my favorite song.
I've not heard that before. That's pretty funny.
It's my favorite song. I love this song. This is the Beatles. I know all about this song. It's Willie Nelson. I love Willie Nelson. Come on, you're on the air.
Yeah, see, I really hate when you're waiting in a long, long line to get in and do something, and somebody's holding a spot for about a dozen people.
Oh, yeah. I've experienced that. That's awful.
Oh, yeah.
That's disgusting.
I mean, one or two people, fine, but, not 6, 10 people, I mean, it just gets me.
Yeah, I agree. I concur.
Yeah. Thank you. You know what, another one, when you're in the grocery store, and the person in front of you it's time to pay, and then they start digging for their checkbook.
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, you didn't expect you had to pay? It was just like you waited till now?
Yeah, right.
I haven't written a check at a grocery store in a long time, but this is maybe an old pet peeve.
Well, it's like debit cards, though, too. I mean, people will reach in their purse for their debit card.
Yeah, but at least that's quick.
Yeah, well, no, not if you got a billfold or anything.
Then, I do this one. People who clip their nails at work while sitting at their desk.
You do.
I do that. Does that bother you?
Here by the mic. No, it doesn't bother me. But you sit there by the microphone.
I think I'm reading between the lines.
You're sitting there clipping your nails.
I gotta stop doing that. Okay.
Yeah, but at least they're in the garbage can and they're not like in the keyboard and all the mechanical things.
Oh no, I'm embarrassed. I hope I find one that you do. Then you'll be embarrassed too. Come on, you're on the air.
What do I do?
I don't know.
I have to get on this bandwagon too. When you're driving down the road and people don't use their signal, or you get up to somebody that's going to pull off, they wait till you get there and then pull out and then maybe go one block and turn. It infuriates me.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yes.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that one.
All right. People who text like they're G-chatting. What is that?
What's a G-chatting?
People who text like they're G-chatting, sending OMG, and then how did you know, and then LOL within seconds. I don't know what that is even.
With the letter U and all that.
I don't even know what that is. Okay.
I know what a G-string is. I don't know
People who stop suddenly in the grocery store in front of you.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Well, you have to stop suddenly sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my cheese. I got to stop and get it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's my cheese. I got to stop for my cheese.
I've been guilty of that. I've been guilty of going to, regular retail stores with people, and all of a sudden I'll spot something and just stop right away, and then they run right into me, the people I'm with. So, I am guilty of that. I should pay more attention.
Oh, the next one, I had no clue. People who stand on the left side of an escalator. The right side is for standing. Left is for walking. What? I never heard that before.
Yeah, stay to the right.
On the escalator.
That's what I hear, yeah.
You just stand there and let other people pass you on the left.
Yeah.
I have never heard this in my life.
I experienced that in New York. TJ told me, he says, you got to stay to the right, Mom, because people walk right up there past you. So I did. I witnessed that in New York. We were on escalators, and we stayed to the right, and then they walk right up the escalator.
I've been away too long.
Behind me.
I had no clue. So I probably was bugging a lot of people behind me. Another pet peeve is misspelling my name when it's right there in the email, staring you in the face. Okay, I get that.
There you go.
When dog owners leave their dog's poop on the sidewalk.
And don't clean it up.
Right.
Yeah, no, you got to have those little plastic things with you.
Oh, the next one is Wendy's. Okay. There's a
The restaurant?
Yeah, don't tell anybody which one I mean.
Okay.
But there's a Wendy's in Ocala, and there's the sweetest young girl who works the cash register.
Mm-hmm.
But she is as slow
Yeah.
as can be.
Yes.
I mean, as slow
Yes.
as can be.
Yeah.
And that's a pet peeve. People who are slow cashiers. Slow cashiers.
Yeah, and she's not doing the cooking. She's just cashiering, and it's like, okay, I'm starving.
All right. I get a pet peeve is when somebody says, let's make plans, and then they get surprised and offended when you actually start making plans.
Yeah, because they really don't want to make plans. They're just saying it just to say it for whatever reason, and I hate that too. Don't just say things. Just
A
to say
pet
it,
peeve,
you know?
somebody who says they don't see age and they don't see race. I'm colorblind. I don't see you as anything. I don't see you as old. I don't see you as black or white. You are just a person in front of me. You know, I think that's true, though, if you know the person.
Yeah.
If it's somebody new to you, then yes, that's an old black guy.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's an old white woman.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Or that's a young white woman, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you get to know them, oh, that's Robin.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You don't use descriptives then.
All right. We're talking about pet peeves. And it all got started because our guests didn't show up from the Italian circus. Good morning. You're on the air.
Is there a dog?
Hey, you're doing really good, Larry, but I've got one more I have to share since you mentioned dogs.
Uh-huh.
We went into a local restaurant, and there were probably 8 or 10 service dogs right next to us, you know, and it was gross. I'm sorry, service dogs are an awesome thing, but they do not need to come into a nice restaurant, you know, with a bunch of dogs. And also, we were in another restaurant one day, and a woman brought her little dog in the restaurant, and it was up on the table licking the menu.
Oh, that is nasty.
Now, this was, I'm going to tell you, that was at a Cracker Barrel, here locally.
Oh, my God.
I think dogs need to stay in the car. They have no place in a restaurant unless you have a restaurant that is designated for dogs and their companions. Thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
Yeah, because true service dogs won't lick menus. They will lay down there at their owner's feet, and then they will wait. But it's the people that try to pass off their other dogs as service dogs that drive me nuts. I'm in Publix in the vegetable and fruit aisle, and there are people in there. One lady was in there with a Great Dane, and I, you know, I asked the lady at customer service. I said, "How come these people are allowed in here with their animals? You know, they can put their fur flying and all." And she said they can't do anything to stop it, even though they're not designated as service dogs. They can't stop it, and I think it's doing a disservice not just to the dog, but to the people that frequent that business.
Okay, here's another pet peeve. People who eat crunchy food in the movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. Well, so, all right, now here's how you do crunchy food in the movie theater. You wait for a noisy scene. You know? Like, you know, they're a bad guy's being chased, or there's a big heavy music, or there's explosions. That's when you put the crunchy food in your mouth and you chew.
Oh, there you go.
But you got to be done chewing before that scene ends, and it's the funeral scene. You know, because then it gets really quiet in the theater.
Yeah.
And all you can hear is...
Exactly. Or rattling the cellophane to get the crunchy food out of there. It's in tight.
Oh, yes.
It's in tight.
Did you impress somebody?
The guy, he sneezed twice.
Did he hear you? I mean, did he know that was you?
No, he looked at the other guy. He saw the other guy standing over there. So it's in tight. Look at that cute little white dog. He's just running around.
Let's see. When you open the door for someone, and not only do they not thank you, they also glide straight past as if people should open doors for them.
No, you have to say thank you.
All right. Mispluralized last names on holiday cards. Do not expect me to keep, read, or even acknowledge your card if it says "to the Greens."
Oh, there you go.
What?
Yeah. Well, you have more than one person in a family, and you want to pluralize it. But I never thought about that. To the Greens.
Okay, so this one, I anybody who's Hispanic, tell me if this offends you. or is it pet peeve? When people call Latinos Spanish. Unless you're born in Spain, you're not Spanish.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, you speak Spanish, though.
Right, exactly. But then there are different forms of Spanish.
So I didn't know that was a pet peeve for anybody.
I guess it is.
People who groom themselves on public transportation. What does that mean?
Oh, putting on makeup, brushing your hair.
That doesn't bother me.
You know.
Yeah.
Brushing my hair bothers me. Brushing hair because you're brushing hair and the hair can flip out of your hair roots and everything, and I hate that. Especially if you brush your hair in somebody's kitchen, I hate that too.
Here's one that we agree with. When it seems like the staff at the restaurant pay more attention to the drive-through customers than the people in the restaurant. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's prevalent these days.
Oh, my gosh, that happens all the time.
Yeah, it does. It's awful.
You go in and you say, oh, the line around McDonald's is forever. Yeah. Why don't we just go in? And then you go in and there's nobody at the counter, right?
Yes.
And there's nobody waiting on you either because they're all busy with the cars.
Exactly.
Exactly. Cars get first priority here.
They do. The cars get first priority at every fast food restaurant in town. We've witnessed it.
All right. People with an inflated sense of their own importance. Well, that gets to everybody.
Yeah. You just deal with it. You just say, okay.
You know what is a pet peeve of mine? When somebody feels like they are closer to God than me. Like they will say, I'll talk to God for you. I'm closer to him than you. And it's like, hello? Or I went to your church one time. And the lady had no idea who I was, but I just didn't go to that church. And she said, well, we'll convert you one of these days.
I know, that was rude.
What is that supposed to mean?
I know, that was embarrassing. There were a few times that my church has done things that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's very embarrassing. I mean, gee.
Adults who say yummy, that doesn't bother me.
Ooh, yummy.
Oh, clapping at the end of a movie in a theater, Robin. There's yours.
I love to clap when it's a good one, but it's offending.
It's
a pet peeve.
It's a pet peeve of somebody.
Is it yours?
I only
Is
clap
that your
because you
pet peeve of mine?
No.
Okay.
I'm okay with clapping.
Oh, okay.
I clap at the church and nobody likes it.
Yeah.
When they're done singing in the church, it's a beautiful singer at the front of the church, singing this beautiful hymn.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she was awesome. And then I look around. Nobody else is clapping.
I know, my church is.
Nobody else is clapping.
Sometimes it's embarrassing.
When people say touche.
Oh.
It's a pet peeve if somebody says touche.
Touche.
You know, you are ugly. Well, you are uglier. Touche. You're ugly. You are uglier. Touche.
That's why that cartoon Touche Turtle wasn't around much then.
When people go to irrational lengths to keep their middle name a secret. What's your middle name? What?
Oh, yeah, we known somebody like that. They had just a letter, and then we tried to keep in guessing what the name was, and they wouldn't say what it was.
Right.
Yeah, that was annoying.
All right, well, there we go. For the Italian acrobats, we had fun. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. A Russia election meddling investigation may be moving all the way up the chain soon.
News reports that special counsel Robert Mueller has requested to interview President Trump may indicate that Mueller is looking into a possible obstruction of justice case in his investigation. The president has called the probe a witch hunt. 4 Trump associates have so far been charged in the Mueller investigation, but there is still no proof of wrongdoing by the president.
Fox's John Decker. A California couple accused of torturing their children appears in court today.
Prosecutors are expected to ask a judge to keep David and Louise Turpin from contacting their children. The Turpins were arrested earlier this month after their 17-year-old daughter climbed out a window and called 911. Police say they found 3 of the kids shackled to beds, and almost all of them were malnourished.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Those siblings are 2 to 29 years old. Fox News. We report, you decide.
If you're a small business, first impressions can make all the difference. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a professional business phone system on your mobile phone. Choose a business phone number, make calls, and send texts. Stay connected and work from anywhere with features like Wi-Fi calling and our desktop app. Set up your account in minutes with no long-term contracts and 24/7 customer support. Make your small business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com, delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who